Welcome back to another edition of The Moral of the Story. I am Tom Lovett with your story for today. This is where I get to tell you a story. You get to listen to the story, and then you get to come up with the moral of the story. So let's get started. But first things first, right? We need our quote. One of the greatest gifts you can give another human being is to care enough to listen to their story. Richard Linder. And the story is told of a young African warrior walking around the village asking the secret to happiness and success. The villagers couldn't help him. They said, "You go see the sage. There's a wise old man sitting up in those mountains. Go see him. He can help you." So the young African warrior makes his way up the mountain onto the path. Meanwhile, at the top of that mountain, near a river, an old man sits in a chair handmade out of twigs and branches, and a little hut he's sitting in front of is made out of the same. And he's sitting there just rocking back and forth. He sees the top of the head of the young African warrior coming up the path. And he sits and he waits. And the young man approaches the old man and stands in front of him. But the old man doesn't say anything right away. And the young man is standing there waiting. And finally, the old man looks up and says, "Son, what can I do for you?" And the young man says, "I was told by the villagers that you can help me. I am looking for the secret to happiness and success." And the old man dropped his head for a moment while the young man stood there in front of him. And the old man stands up and takes the young man by the wrist, turns him around, leads him back down that path that he came up, and leads him over to the river, and then walks him into the river slowly. And the young man is thinking, what is this man doing? But I've got to trust him. The villagers said that he can help me, that he's wise. And he walks him into that water. And they get deeper and deeper. Ankle, knee, thigh, waist. Young man is starting to wonder what is going on. He walks him into the water, chest high, chin, and then walks him into the water so deep that their heads are just below the surface. And he's holding on to the young man. And for a moment, they stand there. And then he turns around and walks him back out up to that path and up to the little chair, and he sits back down, and the young man is confused, and he's bothered by now, irritated. And the old man says, "Young man, when I had you submerged in that water, when you were underwater, what did you want more than anything?" And that young African warrior, being frustrated, "What do you think, old man? What do you think I wanted? I wanted to breathe." And the old sage said to him, "Young man, when you want happiness and success as much as you wanted to breathe, then you will have found the secret." And yes, the moral of the story is, I'm Tom Lovett. Yes. Till the next time, yes. To be continued. Yes.